Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take a very quick look at the game Kenakalan. Kenakalan is a game for 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, and the average play time is about 15 to 30 minutes. In this game, each player is going to take on the role of a touring company, and they'll be tasked with collecting sets of tour cards in order to win the game. Let's just take a quick moment to look at the components and how the game is played. Alright, now as far as the components are concerned, you've got some storefront boards over here. Basically, one is given to each player. They're double-sided. You've got some Wise and Wicked Monkey cards over here. And finally, you have a deck of 72 tour cards, and they consist of 9 sets of 8 colors each. As far as setting up the game goes, each player is going to receive one of these storefront boards, and as I mentioned earlier, they are double-sided. If you're playing a 2 or 3 player game, you'll use the side that has the 6 on the bottom right. You've got a 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you're playing a 4, 5, or 6 player game, you instead use the side without a 6. Each player will also receive a deck of 3 cards from the main deck. Now, it's important to note that you'll have to go through the deck before that happens and pull out a certain number of wild cards and color sets before the game begins. That's all dependent on how many people are actually playing the game. In a 2-player game, for example, you would remove 3 sets of tour cards, 3 wild cards, and 3 of the Wise Monkey cards. But in a 5 or 6 player game, you'd use all of them. So again, you may have to go through the deck and pull out some sets, depending on how many people are actually playing the game. Finally, you'll go ahead and draw 5 cards to form the store, so to speak. These cards will be ever-changing throughout the entire game, but they give players a resource as far as collecting the colors that they need in order to form sets. On a player's turn, they'll be able to perform one of 4 different actions. They can draw a card from the top of the deck. They can rearrange this set of 5 cards here, which is called the Special Offers display, which I'll explain why that's important in a minute. They'll be able to use some of the cards from the display, but there are restrictions. And finally, they'll be able to put any completed sets that they have put down next to their storefront back into their hand. Now, the first action, drawing a card from the top of the deck, is very simple. You would just simply, boom, done. And that's all there is to it. I don't know if I can make it any simpler than that. The second action, rearrange the Special Offers display. Basically, if you just want to switch the order of the cards around, like so, you could do that. And that would be one of your actions that you could complete on your turn. Now, why would you do that? Well, that ties in with the third action. A player can use cards from this display, but they have to take from the sides. And the cards that they pick up have to be used on that same turn. So, basically what you're going to be doing in this game is you're going to be trying to complete sets of cards. So, for example, in my hand right now, I have a green, 2 gray, and a wild. Now, in order for me to take some cards, I have to either start from this side or this side and work my way in. And I can take as many cards as I want, so as long as I can use all of them on that turn. So let's say that I have a green card, and I decide, well, I have enough for 3. If I were to start from this side and take this one and this one. Now, because I took those, I have to play these on my turn. It just so has it that I have a green card in my hand. So then I could play these 3 cards next to my number 3 and put that next to my storefront. This indicates that I have completed a set of 3 cards, and all I would need is a set of 4, a set of 5, and a set of 6 to win the game. It's also important to note that when you're completing sets, they have to be all different colors. Now, let's say that I didn't have this wild card. Let me move these back. Now, let's say I wanted to grab. I have a silver card in my hand, but let's say, okay, Actually, I have 2 silver cards in my hand. Let's say for the moment that I wanted to complete a set of 3 with this. Well, I wouldn't be able to start from this side and grab up to the gray card, because again, I would have to play this card on my turn to form a set, and I can't do that with the cards I have. So this is one of the ways you can block your opponents. If you know that your opponent is going after a certain color, you can bury it in the middle, so to speak, and they'll be forced to try and come up with sets for these cards in order to get to the one they actually want. Finally, you can put a completed set back into your hand. It's very simple. Let's say I had 3 cards here, and I decide to pick these up and put them into my hand, and that would be my one action for that turn. And any time that you take any cards from the center like that, depending on what action it is, you would simply draw from the deck and replace them like so. Now, after you take one of those 4 actions, there are a few things that you can do cost-free that you won't have to worry about wasting actions for. For one, like I showed you, you can complete sets. So that's one thing that you can do on your turn that doesn't cost any sort of action points. You can also play one of these white monkey cards. These white monkey cards serve to help players out to strengthen their own hand in some way. For example, this one, take any 2 different actions now or on a later turn. So this card allows you to take 2 actions. You just simply sacrifice this card, discard it, and then take 2 actions instead of 1. So whenever you draw this from the deck, you keep this in your hand until you're ready to use it. On the other hand, there is a Wicked Monkey card. By the way, Kenakalan means mischief, and that's why that's the whole theme behind this game. Basically, this card must be played immediately. It doesn't get put into your hand. You just simply follow the rules listed on here. I'm stealing a wild card from your shop front. Pass me on if you've no wild cards in your shop. So if I had a wild card, which looks like this, it could be used for any color. If I had a wild card on my storefront, I'd have to basically give it up because of this card. And if I didn't have one, I could pass it on to another player and they'd be forced to follow it. And then eventually this card would just get discarded after the action was completed. And that's basically all there is to it. Players are going to continuously take turns clockwise around the table, trying to collect sets of cards and lay them down to satisfy a set of 3, a set of 4, and a set of 5. If they happen to be playing a 2 or 3 player game, they'll also need to complete a set of 6 cards. The first player that manages to collect sets like so will actually win the game. Alright, now keep in mind that I didn't cover everything found in the manual. Like, for example, I didn't mention the fact that whenever you do take cards from the center, that you do have the ability to replenish them from your hand rather than taking from the deck. So certain things like that, but this should give you a good idea as to how to play the game. But just to illustrate, Vinny and I are going to go ahead and play through a few practice rounds. So Vinny, you can go ahead and go first. Remember that your 4 actions for your turn, you can draw from the deck, you can rearrange the special offers display, you can use 1 or more cards from the special offers display, or you can swap or take a set of cards from your storefront. But since you have none, then you can't do that. Alright, so you're going to pick up a card? Alright. Alright, I will go ahead and draw myself. Alright. Alright, so you're going to play the Wise Monkey. That allows you to take 2 actions. So I'm going to just discard that, and that means you can do 2 things. So you're going to draw 2 cards? Okay, I'm not going to ask. Really? 2 Wise Monkey cards.
Spend them in 1 turn. All 3.
Apparently I didn't shuffle them all that well. Okay. Well, now here's a good example. I have 2 silver cards here, but that silver card is buried behind that red. If I were to try and get that card, I'd also have to take the red one. And since I can't complete a set with the red right now, that's kind of stuck. So I have a few options. I can just keep playing, picking up cards, and try and go for something else. Or I can rearrange the special offers display and put the silver one on the end. But since Vinny is listening to what I'm saying, that's obviously not to my advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick up a card for right now. Alright, I have a Wicked Monkey card. Pass me on if you hold fewer than 6 cards. Well, I do. I have 4. How many cards do you have?
5.
Alright, so nothing happens. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick up a set that I've already placed down. Now, this is another rule that I didn't mention earlier. When you pick up a set from your storefront, you cannot play this immediately again and put that set down. You have to wait for a future turn. However, if you do pick up a set that contains a wild card, you can go ahead and use that wild card for a set of a different color. Alright, so now that I did that, Vinny, it's your turn.
I'll pick up this, and I'll use it for... Actually, I could use this now. I get 2
You're going to use
actions.
another... Alright.
Let's see what I get for my 1 draw. And I'll just draw again. One, two, three, 4, 5. Darn it,
Yeah, you have to discard half your hand? Is that it?
No.
You must give a card to every other player. Okay.
I'll give you that one.
Okay. Oh boy. Green is the only color I don't need. Okay. Alright, so I will go ahead and first I will pick up a card.
It might help.
Oh, God darn it. I should have played the... Oh, really? Alright, this stupid wicked monkey. Alright, well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I gotta get rid of 6 cards. This stinks. Okay. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright.
There.
6 cards. Alright. Mischief my butt. Alright, there. You got it.
I don't need it anymore. Go. I just picked up.
Alright.
So I don't really need any.
Stupid
monkey.
Alright, I picked up. Now I'm going to place these before it's too late. Alright, I've got 5 blue and 1 wild, so that
Okay,
completes my set of 6.
Again. Let's see what I get. It's a stupid card.
Okay.
I didn't get any other cards.
I will go ahead and pick up.
My turn?
Uh-huh.
Really? I don't need this anymore.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a set that I've already put down.
Why?
Because I can.
My turn.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many cards that I can't even get rid of. I picked that, so...
What are you doing?
No, your turn.
My turn?
Hmm.
Alright, I will go ahead and pick up, but I'll also lay down this set of 4. The reason I picked this set of 3 up is because I picked up a gray. And again, you can't lay down a set that you just picked up, so I had to wait till a future turn to do that.
My turn.
It is now, yes.
I'll pick these back up. My turn.
It is now.
I'll pick up these.
Ah, I would have won next turn. Okay.
And I'll put all these down for 6.
You have 6 there?
Yes.
Alright. Well, it looks like you have all your sets, and thus you would win the game. Good game.
Good game.
And there you have it. That's just a very quick look at the game Kenakalan. Again, it's a lot of fun, very easy for kids to play. So if you have smaller kids, if they can match colors, then they can play this game, in all honesty. You can check out my review at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, or you can simply click on the link in the below description. That'll take you there as well. This is Vincent Vinny Jr. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.